All right, for the small air valve assembly, the 3 valves on the left-hand side of the plastic cover pump, there is a power connector on the back. This power connector, you just press to release and pull, and it disconnects. And then all you do is unscrew the 4 Phillips head screws and pull the air hoses off. And this piece will come off very easily. With this air valve assembly right here, you can see that the pinch valves are actually very accessible right here. I would take these off before I unscrew anything because you'll have leverage. So you can get in here, grab these little pinch assemblies, pull them up away from the valve. When they're away from the valve, it basically releases it. Another thing to do that can be easier on your hands too is to use the pliers to even pull these off the valve. You can see they pop right off. They're actually pretty easy to get to. There we go. You can see we've got these hoses all disconnected. And from here, we are just going in with a stubby screwdriver. Just a couple Phillips head screws here. So you got the 4 done, all unscrewed, all loose. This is already unplugged back there. So we just push this through the back and it's all unplugged. You just fish it out. All right, for installing the part, how we're gonna start is we're gonna start with screwing the part in first. So we don't wanna deal with the air hoses, the air valves, or any of that yet, because this part up here, we've got a little bit of leverage with it where it's located. So just find whatever Phillips head screw is the easiest to get to. Don't tighten it down all the way because you might have to shift these around a little bit. But you can see the risers on top of the pump cover. So it should be pretty easy to line up and just run the Phillips head screws down. I'd maybe recommend a magnetized screwdriver for this part. It'll make your life easier. And once you got about 3 of them in, you can kind of tighten them up if you're in that area already. All right, so we've got it screwed in now. So now we're just trying to reconnect these air hoses. And you can kind of see in like the order that they came off, how their positioning works. So these, you can see they're still zip tied together. We know this one for sure goes right here. You just slide the hose on with your hand. Once it's on, crimp the metal pinch and slide it over so that it's over the valve. If you don't have that over the valve, it's not going to be tight enough. Just slide them on as you go. Once these have been mounted on, we just go in again with the pliers or your hands, whatever you prefer, and slide the collar down so that it's over the plastic stem of the valve. You can use zip ties if you destroy one of these crimps. Just you'd pull the zip tie all the way down and yank it tight. And if you have an issue on a customer's chair where the hoses have been popping off, and it's one of these connections where there isn't a crimper zip tie, putting a zip tie around it will work. The other option that you can do is you could use a little tiny amount of super glue and put it on the plastic stem, not on the opening to block the airflow, but just a tiny drop, and then put the hose over it and a zip tie, and that'll basically be a permanent connection at that point. So from here, this is all reinstalled, re-screwed, all the air hoses are reconnected. The only thing that we have to do is just plug it in